grab your wine and let's chat, ladies.
What's up, besties?
Hi guys!
What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back with episode 9, guys. I cannot believe it. Like, episode 9.
We made it through almost an entire season. Like, the next time you guys hear from us, outside of this episode, will be our season finale. Okay?
Oh.
Like,
yes, I cannot believe it. Like, just going back, like, looking at everything, we have grown so much, and I have been enjoying this journey. And I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well, besties, because it's been a fun ride. What do you think about it?
Yo, I literally hear the progress. Like, from the start, when you think about where we started from to where we are now, and that's what excites me. And I hope that our intentional besties have been progressing with us.
Yeah.
Like, guys, have we been helping you?
I think we have, honestly, because we've been receiving so much of feedback. So thank you guys for all the feedback that you give. We love it so much. And I just love reading your stories, like how much you got, like how much we help you guys, because we're helping ourselves at the same time. So it's like just like enjoyable thing to see all of us growing together. So I'm so excited about that.
Yes, like every single time someone, all right, the most rewarding thing, or like, I don't know, just like heart feeling thing for me is when someone contacts us and be like, yo, you have no idea how much I related to this message.
Yeah.
Like, or like this message was right on time. Like, I needed to hear this message. And then like how much we have helped them. And guys, like, it's just a blessing to be a blessing, honestly.
It is, because like I said from the beginning, like if we could only help one person, that was our goal, just to like help somebody out. But the amount of like people that we have helped, it's just a blessing, like you said, and we're just so thankful and grateful that you guys are still with us, about to end the season out. And it's just amazing. Like, so thank you guys. If you have missed anything, please go back, catch up. You don't want to miss anything. But we got to give it into this new episode. We have to give the girls what they came for, as always.
As always. But before, let's just catch them up a little bit, sis. How was your week? How is your weekend going to be? Or the week coming? Like, give us some tea, sis. What's going on with you?
So, I am enjoying summer. Hence, I am very, very tanned. I have been outside like every day. And actually, I've been finding enjoyment in like going outside in the morning times from like 9 to maybe like 11, working outside, the pleasures of working remotely. But enjoying like, I'm serious, enjoying nature and like just relaxing. And like sometimes I do my morning meditations out there too. So it's really, really peaceful. But so I've been enjoying the outdoors, enjoying the sun. When the sun comes out, like fully though, I'm inside. Like, can't hang that long.
It's hot, huh?
It's hot. Like, it's been probably like 98-ish, like every day, and I just can't hang at that.
And it's so crazy because it's been raining so much, but it's still hot. And in Louisiana, it is humid. Like,
oh my gosh,
yo, it is like just as soon as you walk outside, you're probably gonna sweat. Like, it's that hot. Like, look, run for cover. It's hot out here, y'all. But sis, when did you start meditating again?
A few weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago. I started meditating again, and I don't even know. Like I just started, and it just puts me like in a more calm state. It helps me like get grounded and more balanced for my day. I like to start my day out like that. And it just helps me like feel and be in control, literally. And
I feel that.
The best way to start my day for me. So like I said, like I've been going outside, like here on like the little sofa set, putting it on YouTube or something on the TV, and literally just sitting there and meditating. And like you can hear like the birds chirping, and like it's just the best feeling ever. And I don't know why I haven't been doing it. So So I've been enjoying that.
I like nothing is like the sounds of nature. Like when you're able to just sit outside and just listen and to everything that's going on around you, like that's one of the best feelings.
Yes.
Sis, I tell you one thing. I need to get better at meditating, I'm not gonna lie. But I do meditate when I do like I said, sometimes I would do like the yoga or the HIIT workouts early in the morning. You know about the HIIT workout. You did it one time with me. You never did it again. But I think we had a good time. Okay, guys, so I didn't want to go to the gym that day. So I called Des. We did a HIIT workout over FaceTime, but we both put it on like our YouTube. And we did the HIIT workout. It was not a beginner's HIIT workout. It was a very intense HIIT workout, full body exercises, 60 seconds on, like 3 seconds off in between exercises. And we both were dying. But I think we had a good time, sis.
It was a good time because we motivated each other to finish through. But that's the reason I don't work out with you now, because you don't do beginner level stuff. You like, you can do it. And I'm over here like,
but no, did you do it though?
I did.
Like mind over matter, right?
You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Mind over matter. And I feel like that goes so much into our next episode. I mean, well, this episode, but am I jumping the gun?
I don't know. Are you, what have you been doing? Like, how has your life been?
Oh my God. So somebody resigned at work. So I have been literally at work until they hire someone on to replace like this process technician. So I have been at work. I have been at work all week, but tomorrow I'm off and Tuesday I'm off. I have my godchild. I know I love my baby so much. So me and her are going to the beach tomorrow morning. We're going to go to Pensacola and just kick in and, you know, like we said, get some of that good outside, some of that good sun, vitamin D. Yeah, I don't know how she's going to be with the ocean, but I'm hoping that she wants to get in. I'm going to get her some floaties, so we'll see.
Yes, that's going to be nice. Do you guys have an umbrella?
I'm going to get one.
Okay, good.
We have the beach chairs, but...
I know you have the beach chairs.
I was thinking either an umbrella or a tent, but I plan to spend the entire day on the beach, so hopefully... I mean, I'm going to wait until we get there and I'm going to get one, or I'm going to rent one.
Oh, yeah, you can rent one, yeah. You're right. Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it will be.
I know you love the beach, so I know you're going to enjoy it. Are you going to read any books out there, or are you just going to, like, just lay out?
Yeah, I am. I'm still reading. Did I mention that last podcast? I'm reading All About Love by Bell Hooks right now. Yeah, so I'm still reading that book. I'm about halfway through. So I'm bringing that book with me tomorrow. I'm going to bring a speaker, probably listen to some podcasts, and just play with my baby in the sand. Yeah. My baby that I didn't birth.
You know, sometimes that's the best babies to have right now.
Look, that birth control is what she is.
That's the best kind to have.
That birth control is what she is, but we're going to have a good time. I'm going to turn her up. I like to turn her up and then ship her right back to her mother.
Oh, my goodness. But I think it's enough catching up. I mean, let's get into what the girls came for.
Okay.
So, what are we talking about today, sis?
Okay, guys. So today we are talking about everything. Like I said, mind over matter, but that's very much in layman's terms. We're talking about goal setting. We're talking about the law of attraction, the power of the mind, how the mind is like the most powerful magnet. And we're definitely talking about a little bit of reflection as well on these goals that we set.
Yeah.
And why you have to fully believe in the things that you are writing down and setting for yourself, and the importance of writing them down.
Yes. So that's a lot. I feel like
it is a lot.
We talk about this a lot, or maybe not in detail. We talk about like how our mindset has changed and drifted over time. But I guess we're gonna get into the nitty gritty today of what has changed and what do we do when we goal set, and how do we achieve our goals, and what does reflecting look like in detail.
Yes.
And y'all already know that this is a big part of our lives, our everyday lives. Reflecting, going through like monthly reflections and seeing how we can improve. That's something that we both implemented this year because last year
I agree.
I know that we were struggling at the end of the year to reflect
We
because
were struggling. And then
we
also, like, the goals looked much different last year. I don't think that they were as specific.
yes,
And so that's why it was so hard to reflect, because we didn't set specific goals, and we also didn't reflect as often as we did. So at the end of the year, we were trying to reflect on, like, okay, what did I do from January to February, February to March, and we all the way in December.
yes,
And this year is like those monthly reflections that we have. It really helps you keep inventory and keep your progress on, like, keep track of your progress. Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like a totally different person this year.
I do
I
too.
think we had like the mindset, but we wasn't, like, as far as like the actions, they weren't really there all the way. It was kind of like the work wasn't really being done, or maybe it was, but we wasn't keeping track of it. Like,
We weren't. And I think this year, obviously, we're more intentional behind doing things and
yes,
improving ourselves on a constant basis. So I think that's important. I mean, obviously, we're here for intentional by design,
yes,
um, but we are very intentional about reflecting and setting those goals. And I think a nice part for me is that last year I realized that I set like you said, not big goals. They weren't very specific, and I didn't set like how was I going to attain those goals.
yes.
And so when it got to the end of the year, I'm like, um, I didn't have any steps in
Look,
progress.
I just knew I had to work toward this, but I
Yes,
wasn't sure how I was working toward it. I just kind of was taking steps in the right direction, or it
right,
felt like I was, but I
right.
didn't actually know um how I was going to get to this huge goal, and maybe unrealistic goal, that I have set for myself
Yes,
in January. And that's another thing, guys. It's okay to set a goal and then go back and, like, be specific about that goal, and then go back and adjust if need be.
yes,
And I think that was like my biggest thing last year. Like, I wasn't really into like adjusting, but you have to be adaptable, and you have to realize when it's time to maybe, um, you know, edit some things that you
and
thought. Look, I thought. Yeah, girl, you were so wrong.
so for me,
Like,
it's like this year I really focused on so I set the big goal first, right?
right.
And then each month I do a little bit of that goal to get to the bigger goal. So I step like do it up. I mean,
Yeah.
set it up to like have smaller goals to get to that big goal.
So it's
Um,
kind of like, like when you put something into your GPS and you put your destination in, right?
hmm
And then you plug that in and you press start, and then it has all the little things that you have to do in between. Every single turn, every single exit, like, that's what you have to do. You put your destination in, and then you map out how you're going to get to that destination,
and
and
that's
very specific steps.
I know, and it's good that you brought it up because you can always pause your GPS.
And you
You
can
can
always
always
add in something. You can
yes,
add in a stop. Like,
you can take breaks and it's okay. You can
yes,
um they have alternate routes sometimes to get to that same destination.
yes.
So, just keep all that in mind when you're setting your goals. And I know a few episodes ago we talked about how our goals were, did we share a few of our goals or not?
It's so crazy because I can't even remember. But what I'm thinking is, I think our very first podcast episode, we kind of talked about very vaguely goal setting, and just like we threw out like vaguely how we set our goals. But this podcast, this episode, I really think that, for one, like, sis, how did you go about setting your goals for the year, and then kind of like for the month, and then even if
Yeah.
you want to go into weekly or daily, you feel me?
Right. So for me, like when I guess I'll go back to the end of last year. Like in December when it was time to reflect for
Mm-hmm.
the new year, I kind of wanted to see where I was at in life and where I wanted to be. So I always start like where I want to be. Like I start with the end goal in mind. Like where do I want to be in my relationships with my families, my spouse, my friends? Where do I want to grow personally? where do I want to grow my health and fitness journey? Where do I want to grow in like business aspects, podcasts, career? Where do I want to be at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Um, so I look at those kind of like five things mostly, and in my personal growth, that's also like my spiritual growth as well. So I kind of combine that.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of look at those five things I would say generally, and then I go into those into details. So like for my relationships, like I wanted to maintain healthy relationships with my family, my friends, my spouse, and that was very general. But like I guess month by month, I do things intentionally to make sure I'm securing these strong relationships that I want to have at the end of the year. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like
So
for
what are some things that you, yeah,
yeah,
what are
so
some things that
for
you,
example, it's always easier to talk about my marriage because that's something I work on day to day. Um,
right.
so I think I kind of mentioned this last episode, but being more intentional about dating. So having these dates set up where Cameron plans a date night, and then I plan one the next week, or random dates throughout the week, like that's just surprises. That's
Right.
something that we really focus on and really put emphasis on now, because that's what our like that's how we show our love language to each other. Um, Going back through our love languages again, it's crazy because our love languages has changed as we grew.
Yes.
Um, like so, just put emphasis on dating, relationships, romance, all that kind of stuff. And each month we have a different goal that we work on. Where like the last month it's more dating. The
All right.
month
So let me
before
ask you a
that,
question for about that real quick, just to put a
uh,
number on.
uh,
Did you guys just say, okay, this month we're going to be more intentional about dating, and it's like both of you keep this in mind? Like, did it just stop there? Like both of you keep it in mind and then you just do it? Or did you guys like put a number on it and was like, okay, we're going to make sure we go on one date every week, or every single time we are both off on the weekend, or you get what I'm saying? Like, how did you
mhm.
guys go about that, or and decide who was planning what?
Right. So for us, it was more so like I started this week with my date idea, and then the next week Cameron did it, and then like it was a back and forth thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that way, when we put like a number on it, we're able to measure our progress.
Yes. Okay.
So we're able
Exactly.
to measure like, okay, did we meet our goal? Did we do our
Right.
date nights? You know, um, and then like actually having it set in our minds, it's like, or at least for us, it's like, okay, I know I have a date night coming up, so that means I know I need to plan something very nice for my spouse.
Right.
Um, and it just made it much easier with our schedules and like just life in
Yeah.
general. Um, so that's something that we do. But we
Yeah, I
did
like
do
that.
put numbers on it because it helps us like measure how we're doing.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because I feel like a lot of times when we talk about goal setting, um, it kind of like turns people off to like feel like they have to like put a number on everything. But
Hmm.
like from my experience, and I guess from yours as well, when you put a number on something, most often than not, you like end up overachieving because you
Yeah.
didn't, you get what I'm saying? Like something about tracking that progress, just one takes stress off the situation, because you know that you have set this goal and you want to accomplish this.
Right.
And so
Right.
now it's you set the goal, you set it, maybe you wrote it down. So now you're being intentional about it, you're thinking about it, and it's like on in your frontal lobe, and then it's easier for you to overachieve, versus like you guys saying, okay, we're gonna date, or we're gonna be intentional about dating,
Hmm.
and then the month goes by and it's like, okay, we went on one date this month and it wasn't even really like the greatest date, like maybe we just happen to have time.
Right. Right. And I think since you're talking about that, like, it's important to like mention like SMART goals. Um,
Right.
so like, I feel like when I set goals, it's like I look at them to make sure they're like smart, and what I mean by that, um, is like, are they specific? And not every goal has to be like very specific, but what am I like willing to accomplish? What actions am I gonna take to get to this end goal?
Right.
And then we talked about numbers just now, so the M
So
is
is
like
it
measurable, yeah.
yeah.
So how will I measure if I met this goal or not? So did we do 4 date nights, for example? Did I
Right.
send 4 texts to my friend? Like not really like that specific,
But
but
yeah,
did
you
I
talking
reach
about
out to my
relationship.
friend? Did I reach out to 4 friends this week, or whatever it
Or
is?
did I reach out to that one friend who I know is having a difficult time 4 times this week? You feel
Yeah,
me?
right. So having something that's measurable to see if I'm actually meeting my goal for my relationships or whatever that goal is. And then making sure it's achievable. Like, is it doable? I'm not gonna set like text 100 people or
Right.
check on 50 friends this week. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not
Gotta be
achievable.
realistic.
Yes. Um, and then or it's like relevance. Like,
Yeah.
does it help me get to my bigger goal? Is it important? Does it align? And then that the T is for time,
Gotta put a time frame on it.
a time frame. So having that like kind of set up for my like big goals is what I try to
Yeah.
do, and not every time. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not always smart,
Yeah.
but having that idea of a smart goal is like what I try to go for.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I try to aim for those like 5 categories, and everything looks different. But I break it down by month. Like, so that's my end goal. How do I want to look at the end of the year? And then monthly, I'll break it down like, okay, for this month, I want to work specifically on being
Right.
in small groups at church. Like bringing something forward to a small group at church, and that helps me in my spiritual journey. Like, whatever it is, like I
Right.
set small goals for that month to help me reach my bigger goals at the end of the year. How
Yeah.
does it
I
work for you?
agree. Yeah, I used to do those 5 categories. But I feel like I used to overcomplicate things like a lot. So what's been working for me this year is just it's still kind of like those 5 categories, but I keep spiritual first, and I definitely have them tiered. So like spiritual is number 1, personal is second, and then after finances is third. And spiritual is nothing but that. Like, I
Yeah.
want to read my Bible or I want to pray every day. So if I'm thinking about that every month, it's the same thing. But if I'm thinking about it on a yearly basis, that number will look like 365 days, right?
Right, right.
Same thing for like Bible time in the mornings. And then I want to reflect and on the things that I'm grateful for each day before I go to bed. And spiritual for me really, really does not change. It maybe like you said, I may add things in here and there, but like that is the foundation of my spiritual growth.
Right.
Those are the 3 things that I know I need to do in order to feel full spiritually, and in order to feel whole and as close to God as I can be. And then personal can be anything from like this month it'll be starting the program that I signed up for, like as far as fitness, right?
Right, right.
And then educational will be, and it's so crazy because when I stopped writing down my goals, I completely fell off. Like I should have been done if y'all remember first episode, I was saying I was getting certified as a personal trainer, right?
Yes.
And I realized that I didn't write that down in my personal goals last month or the month before that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's back there for this month. And to put a time on that, I want to spend time with that 1 hour a day. So 7 hours out the week. And then so it'll be like health and fitness, any type of education or any type of like habit I want to incorporate for the month. That'll be under personal. And then last thing will be like financial. And that looks like for me, like maybe I'm saying for the month I want to save 75% of what I'm bringing in, and do whatever the hell else, or maybe I might say, okay, I want to pay off my, like as of recently, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have my car paid off by this date. And so each month I'm going to pay this much extra on my car because I know that I have this much left and I'll pay it off. But so I keep it very simple now. Spiritual, personal, financial. And yeah,
I
that's
think
like,
that I like the way you have yours set up. Like, you know, how you have it, how they tiered like that, because, like, most importance to you.
yeah,
Um, that's really a really good idea. And that may be easier for most people to do. Like, what's the most important things to you? What do you value the most? Like, where do you
yeah.
want to be and stuff? And then work from that way. I feel like it's
And then,
always easier to work backwards.
yeah. And then even in those, like, okay, even in like spiritual, personal, and financial, I even have those goals tiered.
Oh,
So
that's
like, and it may change from month to month, right?
mm-hmm,
If
right.
I feel like I lacked on something last month, I'm gonna push that higher up on the priority list if I feel like that's something that I was lacking and I noticed it and it affected me to where this needs to be higher up on the list. Um, and also like relationships would be in that personal for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I like try to set at least 3 goals under those each one. Personal is kind of like extensive because you, like you said, like relationships or educational. Like if I want to better myself, how I'm going to better myself or my mind this month, I'm going to
Right.
read this book. So that means I'm going to read this many pages a day, or you get what I'm saying. And then like relationships, like you can tier that as well. Like what do you feel like you need to do this month to be better or to show up better in your relationships?
Um,
That's kind of how I do it. I tier everything, put an importance on everything, and also like that said, is 100% effective to like practice setting smart goals.
yeah.
And it does take a lot more effort and intention to like actually sit down and write these things out. But the importance of writing it out, bro, is like, or the benefit of like writing out your goals. Like you think them, you speak them, you write them out, and then from there you continue to affirm them, and it's crazy how much like you can accomplish and don't even realize it. But the whole time you've been speaking life over your goals, you wrote them out. That's also energy, like you said. And you were talking about this earlier, and I think if you share that with them, because I think that's like it's crazy, but it's so true. Like
Um,
just how
uh,
that works.
it does, and it's just the power of like whatever's happening in your mind is like what you're really attracting. And like you always say, like she likes science a lot. Like it's
Yeah.
it's energy, you know. So we're like magnets, and like attracts like. And you really can become what you think. And it's not like just no like fluff. Like it really is like the power of attraction, the law of attraction, um, and putting that stuff out in the universe. God isn't a genie. He's not just going to give you every wish. It's not like that. But when you do positive things, think positive things, you get positive results. So like putting those goals down, writing them out, or even making vision boards, bringing that stuff to the universe, and like really focusing on your mind and like looking at it, seeing it, speaking it, all that positive energy surrounding those things helps them come to life.
Yeah.
um, so it's crazy. As I was mentioning to her earlier, there's a Netflix documentary called The Secret. And I can't even think about who produced it, but it's from a it's a while back. I can't even think when it was made. But it's really talking about the law of attraction, and how like attracts like. And it really changed my mindset at the end of last year, end of 2021.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, what year are we in? Um,
It's flying by.
I know. Um, I'm sorry, it's like storming here. It's crazy because it hasn't rained in I don't know how long, and like since you said it rained, it
Every
started.
day. See?
It started
Power of
pouring down.
tongue, life or death.
It
Power of
started
tongue.
pouring down. Um, but like even like you mentioned earlier, how when you say like, okay, I'm gonna have a good day, when you're affirming that you're gonna have a good day, you end up having a good day. But if you wake up with a bad attitude and like, oh, today's gonna be long, it's gonna be boring, like I'm not even like I'm not even in the mood for today,
Yeah.
then that day is gonna really turn out like the worst because you already have that negative energy and you're gonna get
Energy,
negative
y'all.
energy.
Created nor destroyed.
Yes. So I watched that movie or documentary and my mindset really, really changed. And from there, like, I challenged my mind, Cameron and I even told my parents, my sister, um, because at first it was like, I guess I never challenged my mind like that. So it was like a woo woo wah wah type thing to me. Like, oh, is this really happening? Am I making this up? Like, is this all in my head? So I started telling people about it. 'Cause
Or
it's
if it's,
just
or
like,
is it such a coincidence?
yes. And I started telling people about it because I'm like, maybe I'm going crazy. Like, why is this happening? You know? So like doing different experiments, listening to podcasts and stuff where I would, like, for instance, try to, for Cameron at least, he would try to see a different color car that he'd never seen before, like here
Mhm.
and where we live at. Like, everything's like very
Standard.
not out the norm. Yeah, like, so he's like, I bet you I won't see a hot, or no, he said, I bet you I'll see a hot pink car. Like, he affirmed, like, I'm gonna see a hot pink car. And it's crazy because he was off of work, so he wasn't going for, at that time, before we had our home gym, we had the gym at Fitness Connection. So he would have to drive to the gym and he would come back home. And that would be the only time he would be able to see this car, right? So he affirmed it, and little do you know, he sends me a picture of a hot pink car that he's seen on his way to Fitness Connection. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That is so
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would do challenges myself. Like, I was just so, like, into it because I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be real. Like, but, like, I would tell my mind, like, okay, for instance.
And that's
like,
so good that you said that. You tell your mind, you train your mind, because we don't realize how much control we have over our minds, or how much control we can have over our minds.
Yes. So I'm telling my mind, like, okay, I'm gonna receive money. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I will receive money today from an unexpected source. I'm driving to work and I'm just affirming myself, listening to my podcast, having a great day, affirming I'm going to have a great day. And before I even walk into the building, because I was still at my job, my previous job, before I walked into the building, my dad texted me and he was like, hey, make sure you claim your unclaimed money from Louisiana, like,
Hey,
treasurer or something.
if it wasn't your dad, and like that's like spam call 101.
Yes.
It's like you would
Like,
think you're
he was
spam.
he's like, I checked and, like, you had unclaimed money. I had 2 checks sitting with the Louisiana state treasurer that I had, like, they mailed it to my address in New Orleans, and I had moved from there like a year and a half ago at that time.
Uh-huh.
So I never got the check, and they had to check. Literally, I went into the Louisiana state treasurer, put in my information, put in my new address, and they mailed me a check that same week. And I was like I'm mind blown. And then I was like battling, like, if I should, take up new opportunities for a new job and all this stuff. Like, I was just going through it, so I was like asking for signs, right?
Right.
And on my way to work another day, she was like, you're gonna have a good day. And I'll probably put the link of the podcast, like, in our comments. This other podcast I was listening to, and she was like, whatever signs you're looking for, they will be answered. And you'll see a yellow butterfly today. And I'm like, okay, like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna see the yellow butterfly today, and I'm still challenging my mind at this time.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, I feel like I've never seen butterflies, like, just flying around, like, as I'm
Right.
talking to work.
It's very seldom.
Very. And then a yellow one at that, I'm like, can't be. But okay, I'm going to see a yellow butterfly today. So I'm still, like, in my mind, like, I'm challenging it so much, it's just like, is this real or really, like, coincidence?
Right.
And so I'm on the phone with my mom, because I talk to them every day. And I literally start screaming on the phone. She's like, Destiny, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, is somebody after you? Like, all this, like, stuff, because I was driving. Like, I had just parked at work. And I'm like, no, mama. I just seen a yellow butterfly. And, like, you just understand, like, and I just start going on and on. And literally after those challenges that I did, literally had to start telling people like, I was like, Cameron, like, okay, this is my challenge for today, like, and if I do it and I send you a picture, that means it's real, right?
Right.
But I just kept doing that kind of stuff. But I literally got this mindset stuff from watching The Secrets, and it really
Yeah.
was life changing.
Law of attraction is powerful. I never saw that. I don't know if it's a documentary or what, but I definitely will watch it. But law of attraction is so powerful. But you saying all those things, one, I have to disclaimer, like, challenge your mind, but also keep hope and keep focus on the things that you want and the things that you want to affirm. Keep putting that good energy toward it, and understand that it may not happen instantly. Like, it's not an instantaneous thing, but believe that it will happen. And I really 100% feel like it will happen, because I feel like our minds are so powerful, and the energy that we put toward things really makes a difference. Like, it make or break it, and everything is a positive affirmation, whether you are affirming something good or bad. It is you adding energy to that, or like putting energy to that. So make sure you're putting energy towards the the right things, and you might just see that yellow butterfly. Okay.
No,
That's
I'm
crazy.
serious.
That's
I
crazy.
was
Like, it
going
really,
crazy.
it makes me, it's just like a reminder of just how powerful we really are, and just,
How powerful your mind is, how
yeah.
powerful your tongue is. Because I was saying these things and like saying them out loud, and like you said, it was a really good point. Like, not everything happens instantly, so don't just say, like, "Oh, I'm gonna wake up with a Range Rover." Like, okay, we still gotta be realistic, okay?
And still have to set those smart goals to get
Smart
it.
goals, yes.
But if you keep affirming it, I promise you're gonna have your range
Yes.
and the rover.
Um, but like, it's just the power of saying it, writing it, visualizing it. I know another thing, big thing for me, is at the beginning of the year. I think everybody pretty much does this. Well, not everybody, but they make new vision boards, how they want their year to look.
Oh yeah.
And there's so much power in that. Like, it's like from your mind, your dreams, and then you put it on paper, or
Yeah.
on a computer, you visualize it, and then whatever you visualize becomes reality. Like, you just keep looking at it, put it in a place that you look at constantly, and that helps attract what you want.
Yeah. And it keeps it just keeps reinforcing the things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps it in the front of your mind. Like, this is really what I want. It's on my vision board. Yeah, it's so crazy that we're talking about this episode. I'm just thinking about, like, we're talking about this episode, and last episode we talked about self-healing versus self-healing versus self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry guys, self-healing versus self-care. But I feel like this is like the perfect like sequence, because it's so much. I feel like everything's clear once you start like that self-healing process.
Yes.
And then just you're able to think clear, and you're able to like really keen in on the things that you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to plan those things out of how you're going to attain it. Yes, it's like, I think that's really powerful. Like, the law of attraction is extremely powerful, because we're attracting things to us each and every single day, whether we are aware of it or not, but we are. So make sure that those things are good things. Like, make sure that you're attracting stuff to you that you want, and not just because you have no control over your mind or no control over your feelings, your thoughts. You're letting your feelings dictate your thoughts, or your thoughts dictate your actions.
Right.
Just, make sure we're being self-aware, setting those goals, making those vision boards, and going after the things that we want.
Yes. And I also want to point out, like, everything looks different for different people. So maybe you're not the person that wants to, sit there with a magazine and cut out, or look through a magazine and cut out things. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It can be simple as like going on Pinterest or Google and like looking up what you want to find. Like if it's, I don't know, going to Greece, getting a picture of Greece and putting it on your vision board, or whatever it is that you want to attain. Like grab that picture and like just put it on a Word document if you don't want to use like a
Yeah.
Canva or something like that. Like put it on the Word document, print it out, or even print it out, take a screenshot, whatever you want to do. Like it's very easy, and it doesn't have to be like a extremely hard process to create a vision board. But like having that visualization and like always looking back at it, it really does help. And I like how you pointed out, well, not today, but when we're talking like maybe like last week, we're talking about redoing our vision boards.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you mentioned that you were going to actually do a vision board album in your phone, and
Yeah.
I thought that was like perfect because I'm always seeing stuff like, oh, I like this, and I want
On
this
your
aligns with
right?
my life, right? This aligns with my goals. And I saved the picture, right? And now I have all these pictures in my phone, and
Yeah.
you can just have a whole album and like just go through them constantly and like
Yes.
do that. So it could
And
be as
then like
simple as that.
for people who are even more simple, like it's crazy. I feel like in the past 2 months I have seen this. I went into this trainer's apartment and I went into her bathroom and she just had like sticky notes plastered like in the center of her mirror, and it was like all the affirmations I guess
Yeah.
that she had been writing down. And it's like, so of course when you brush your teeth you see these things, right? Like, and I was just like, wow, that's dope. Like that's
Yes.
dope. And then like L, now he has like sticky notes on his walls in his apartment, and it's like just different little things I guess that he wants to work on or focus on. And I'm like, it can be literally be that simple, just something that's keeping it, like I said, on your frontal, on your
Yes.
mental.
Always seen it.
Yeah. So the sticky notes, like I think that's a good idea as well if you're someone who's like overly simplified or just need it to be overly simplified. You can write Range Rover on a sticky note and put it somewhere where you're gonna see it often. Um, yeah.
Yes.
I need to be writing remote job on a sticky note, plastering it right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope you get that remote job, sis.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like really just enjoy it, be creative, have fun with it, and just really think big about what you want to have, what you want to attain,
Yeah.
and just be realistic as well. Make sure it's attainable. Those smart goals. Um, but like I said, have fun with it. And then once you do it later on, you'll be able to reassess and see like, okay, maybe this doesn't align with what I want anymore. And then you can reflect back after you achieve something and be like, okay, this is the steps that I did take to achieve it. And maybe I can use these same steps for something else that I want to achieve. And that's the power of reflecting, and why
Yes.
it's so important to reflect on your progress and how can you improve, what have you done great. Like it's not always about like what do I need to do to improve, but make sure you give yourself some grace and know that you did something.
Yeah,
You did great
definitely.
things.
Sis, if it's one thing that I am grateful for this year, it's that we started those monthly reflections, because last year, don't get me wrong, I accomplished a lot of different things and I checked off a lot of different things. But when it came time for that end of the year and then that New Year's resolution,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was so lost on like what I accomplished or how I even managed to get to where I was going. So like the monthly reflections is just like, it's so fundamental in keeping inventory on what you have accomplished. Like you don't want to wait until the end of the year to reflect on uh the year that you've had or how you've grown as a person, because you're going to be like, I know I grew in some areas, but I can't really like be specific about anything that I've done. So like each month is good to reflect and then move it on and that helps you adjust like how I did this month in these areas that I wanted to grow in, or these goals that I've set, and then what do I need to do maybe better next month? Or is there anything that like any goal that I set that was like actually not achievable or realistic, or maybe the time that I set for myself just wasn't it? How do I change that? So monthly reflections have helped me tremendously.
Yeah, they have. And some people may want to know, like, what does our monthly reflections look like? And for me, um, I think I may have talked about this before, but
Hmm.
some of the questions I ask myself is like, what did I learn about myself this month? What am
Yeah.
I most proud of? What do I appreciate the most this month? Where did I grow the most? What areas of my life can I improve and put more
Yes.
work in? So those questions, like looking at it as a whole and then going into details in those questions, like, okay, this is what I am most proud of. Why am I most proud of it? Like, asking those deeper
Yeah.
questions. But that's what my monthly reflection kind of looks like.
Yeah, I think mine is like the same, really. And I think we've sent each other these questions actually.
Yeah,
It
actually, I got
sound
these
like just
from you.
I was about to say this sounds way too familiar. I'm like, actually, yeah, that's how I do it as well.
I got these questions from you at the end of last year, and
Okay.
it's crazy because I couldn't answer those questions.
Me either. I
I could
think that's why I sent them because I was like,
I
I
could not
don't,
answer those questions.
but I know that I should be able to answer these questions. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
So every month, I we answer those questions,
yeah.
and looking back at it, like I'll go back and read like where I was at in January, what were my high points, like what were my low points, and have I improved? And I also use that to set my goals for the
The
month.
new goals, right? Yeah, same.
So
Yeah,
what?
because it kind of like just flows. Yeah, I
Yeah.
usually start my reflection off kind of like that journal entry style. And then I go back and I look at the specific goals that I set for that month and keying on like how, how well I did.
Yes.
From there, you're able to set your new goals for the new month. So
So it's
yeah,
like
I like that process a lot.
yes, it has been much easier, um, and it just put my mind at ease because it's like such organized process. Um,
Yeah,
I like it. I like ease. I like living a soft life when I can.
the soft life. I actually love living the soft life. Probably too much. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes, yes.
um,
Is there anything else that we said we were going to talk about, but we have not covered?
no, I think that's it. We
Do
talked
you
about.
want to tell the girls where you're going this week, or no? It's a surprise.
Oh, I mean, I can tell them I'm going to St. Martin this week.
Oh,
Uh,
did you tell them that last podcast?
I didn't tell them exactly when, I don't think, but they knew I was going this summer. Summer's almost over, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so yes, I'll be in St. Martin.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a great time, of course, and I hope you guys make me some
No,
TT babies.
no, that's not on the vision board.
Not visualizing that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Not on
Power
vision.
of the tongue as well, guys.
Yes,
But I didn't speak that over her. I just said, you know, I would appreciate.
that's like that she would.
I would. I love Chloe to death, but
It's funny because my dad was here for Father's Day and we were talking about it, like just general conversation, right? And he was like freaking out, and I'm like, Dad, like I'm getting old. I have to like get ready. He's like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it. And I know she's gonna be listening to this, so hey, Dad. But
you know what? He just doesn't want to be a papa. That's what it is.
yes,
He doesn't want to be a granddad.
and it's just funny because he was like,
But I feel like he does.
I don't know. I feel like maybe so. I'm not gonna give it to him yet, though. I mean, he has Chloe, and he takes really good care of Chloe. My dad hated dogs. My mom did too, and it's just crazy how much they adjusted to Chloe and like having Chloe in their homes and like.
I swear, parents are like the most, especially like grandparents. They swear up and down that, and then
Yeah, like my parents will call me sometimes. Even my sister, like, oh, where's Chloe? Like, let's see Chloe. I'm like, Chloe's a dog. Like, what do you mean? She's not gonna talk back to you.
Chloe's so cute though. Yeah.
But yes, let's wrap it up. I think for we're gonna go into wine down. We haven't even been drinking wine, but
I
that's
know,
because
but I do not. I'm drinking the water today, guys.
yes, me too, me too. Um, that's also because we have been kind of laying off the alcohol. I have. Have you been holding up to your end of the bargain?
This, this.
I don't
I
know.
need.
That don't
I
sound. That don't sound
no.
positive. That don't sound.
Now I have been
Um,
living my best life.
hey, that's good. As you should.
Yeah, I'm
As
ready
you,
to slow down though. Like I'm ready to slow down. Um, I think this month is gonna do me, even though it's already the 10th.
yeah,
Like the month just started. I keep talking about this month, like it's July. I mean June 30th or 31st. How many days it have in June? And it's July 10th. Like I need to catch up.
when I come back, it's gonna be the end of July, and it's crazy because it's only 7 days. But the way the dates are set up, it's like, oh, it's gonna be the 18th, and
Yeah,
then the weekend, like, my mother-in-law is coming down, and then like Quade's coming down with my nephew, so it's like that's gonna be a thing, and then after that, it's the end of the last week of July, and I'm like, dang, where did the time go? You know,
July. It
um,
literally.
flies by, literally flies by.
Yeah.
But I've actually said that once I come back from St. Martin, I'm just gonna do a whole life cleanse. Just
Life. Ooh.
life cleanse, reset with everything. I just need a reset, and not in a bad way, but just reset. Looking back at my goals, and making sure that they're still aligned. Because we're at the halfway point. Well, at the beginning of July, we were
Yeah.
at the halfway point.
You're right. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were at the halfway point, and I didn't really.
Even though July just started yesterday, but 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was the halfway point, and I just want to make sure that I'm still aligned with my big goals for the
Yeah.
end of the year. And yes, I do that like in the monthly things, but like really reassessing everything, making sure that they're
I
still
think that
aligned with
yeah, I
what I
think
want.
that's end of second quarter. Like that's a good time to really reflect because you
Reflecting.
only have half of the year left.
Yes. And
So
looking at that and just taking a reset, like a big reset, like not just a monthly reset, but like a
yeah.
big
Well, I
reset.
do want to say that like coming off of like like a long vacation is the perfect time to like because you went on vacation, had fun and relaxed, and you can come back and be ready to take on the world.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Take on the world.
I feel that, sissy.
I'm just joking. Um, actually in church today, um, Pastor Josh just talked about how we should not try to save the world, but save ourselves to help somebody else.
I
And
speak on that so often, but sometimes I feel like I come off selfish. But like I literally like that's the one thing that I believe in. Like you have to be able to help yourself in order to help someone else, and I learned that through triaging and stuff like that. Like, or
yes,
when I was taught. But yeah,
but yes, and it just like really put back in perspective for me that I'm not here to save the world, and anything that I do, I'm not here to like save everyone, but if I can save myself, um and really be grounded in my values, then I'll be able to help somebody else and get grounded in their values, and then maybe it could be a chain reaction, that way to save the world. But it's not my calling to save everyone, right? And that, like, when I heard that today, like, really took a lot of pressure off of me for some odd reason. And even though I'm not trying to save the world, it's just like I felt relief, like, whew, I'm not here to save the world, but I focus on me and being better each and every day, and then maybe that can help somebody else, and maybe it can be a chain reaction. And I don't even know why I just said that, but
hey, it was on your heart. But yeah, like
it was.
You're here to better yourself.
Yes.
And hopefully better those who are an extension of you, the people that are closest to you, and hopefully they can do the same. And like you said, chain reaction. But you have to worry about yourself and your circle first, your family, your friends,
Yes. So,
those people that you hopefully affect each and every day.
oh, actually, I think I said that because I'm doing a reset, and I really put it in perspective. Like, okay, this is why I'm doing a life reset, and not a life reset, but like I'm just resetting, making sure that I'm still aligned with what I need to be doing, what I want to be doing, what I'm called to be doing, um, and that it's not saving the world. So I have relief in knowing that I'm not here to save the world. I'm here to be the best version of me.
To
And
love and be loved.
yes, that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
Um,
Love is as love does. All right, let me stop quoting bell hooks for real.
Wait, I mean, we're winding down. So tell me one thing you have learned from reading that book. What's like one thing? Anything.
The one thing that I have learned um, is that personally, love is a very um, realistic and like actionable thing. And my expectations or the thoughts that I have built in my head are not are sometimes not like reality. You feel me?
Okay.
And it can be very bad to over romanticize. Like you feel me? And like build these unrealistic expectations in your head.
Like what love
That's
is.
one thing for real. But that's like something that I always knew about myself as well. Like, because I am a real like hardy at heart. Like I love, like, if you know me, like I love the love stories, the all the romance movies, all of the just everything that's like unrealistic. But
I wouldn't say it's unrealistic, but to have it all the time, maybe so.
yeah. I mean, understand that like love is work because it's a verb. It's not a and
Ooh.
like I said, the love is as love does. So understand that if something is not love, like it's just not love. Like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's in my head, but I don't know how to explain it. But that's the one thing that I have been like meditating on. Like love is as love does, and there is no exception to that. Whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether it's whatever, like love is as love does. And if something does not feel like love, then make sure you're speaking on it and make sure you're like you get what I'm saying, communicating um what needs to happen versus what needs to be said.
Yes. I like it. I like it
But
a
she
lot.
also have like she have a she I don't know, like she takes a different approach when talking about love, and she breaks it down to like being clear on what love is. And then she also has this chapter about justice because you know a lot of things um and even things that are the standard are just like unjust. And how is that love? Like if you're acting out of love, then you would never stand for something that's not just, right?
Right.
um yeah, the I don't know.
I like it. I like
I
it.
recommend the book, guys, because I like the book.
That's good.
I like those like ethical, but also, well, I'm not gonna say opinionated because I guess you can talk ethics and just not be factual
Right.
because
Right.
ethics can also be subjective. But I don't know.
I like it. I feel like they may or may not know that you are like a softy romantic because I
I
feel
know.
like we may have touched on it before, but like I feel like from the outward, like if they don't know you, it's like, oh no, she's not like that.
At all.
It doesn't give. It doesn't
Like
give a softy romantic.
people would not get that from me. if they don't know me, but you know me, because like even the other day when we were having that conversation when I was at work and you were at work, but whatever. And we stayed on the phone for like 2 hours, and you were like, you were telling me like, I'm like, I go for like the soft life. You said this person brings like the soft life, and you could never like do that, or not saying that you could never, but you said you have a hard time with like
a very hard time
being in control. And I'm just like, I'm in love. Like I'm going wherever the love takes me.
Sis, did you talk about you're in love? I mean,
like wherever the love takes me.
I love it. I love it. I love it all. I don't know. It's just very nice to hear that.
Yeah.
But besties, I mean, thank you guys for tuning in. We didn't have any wind down questions. We just kind of wind down from the topic. I think overall, like recap what we talked about today is, you know, really like set your goals, do your vision boards, or whatever it is to make sure you visualize what you really want. Because law of attraction is powerful. Having that energy, like attracts like, having that put out in the universe, it really, really helps you achieve what you want to get. And I guess overall, it like use that as a motivation to yourself. Like we said, be creative, have fun with it. It doesn't have to be you cutting out magazine pictures. It can be simple as downloading a picture off of Google and saving it in your phone album. But it kind of stimulates from last week, like you said, like really knowing what you want, healing, and then taking care of yourself. So go through that first, figure out your goals, and then go from there. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And then also, guys, like, very important, if you want to reach out to us to help you set goals, whether it's like your next month's goals or even this week, whenever, like, please do not hesitate. Reach out to us. We can help you. Like I said, this is things that we practice. Yes. So it's not us just talking. We actually do these things, and we had to practice and get better at setting goals ourselves. So please reach out to us if you need help. By next season, we will have that community to where this will be open dialogue, and it will be a community to where we can help each other, get feedback and everything else. But yeah, please reach out to us, guys, if you need help setting your goal.
We would love to help you guys. Yeah. And if you guys have any other tips of how you goal set or whatever you do,
yes,
we would love to know, because I mean, there's always room for improvement in our process, and we may be looking to grow next year. Well, we are looking to grow next year. Yes. So our processes will be a little bit different. So if you want to share how you goal set, how you make your vision boards, you know, whatever you believe in, please feel free to share it. Like, we love communicating with you guys. We love seeing your guys' perspective on things. And we're just so thankful that you guys are still with us. We have one more episode of season 1. I still cannot believe it.
I know.
Like, I cannot believe it.
I'm excited. But I think I'm gonna miss this for a little while, like us doing this. But of course, I mean, we'll still be on the back end working as always. But like, I'm gonna miss us putting out those episodes. But we'll be back with you guys very, very shortly after this season finale.
Very shortly. But we want to give you time to catch up on anything that you have missed. And it's time for us to reset and get new content, realign what our goals are.
Back to the drawing board.
Next time. On the next episode, where are we going with the podcast?
Yes.
So if you guys want to know, stay tuned. We love you guys. Bye, besties.
Bye.